Hi guys, so this is my analysis on XRP. What am I expecting on XRP? If you watched my previous analysis on XRP, I said I'm expecting XRP to push down to my areas around this level right here. And my reason was because you can see this trend line. I said as long as we are below this trend line right here, we are on a sell. But I said, and the last time I analyzed it, I think we're around this level right here, and I said we might see a little bit of push to this trend line right here, which is around this area, before we now continue to either go up or go down. And if we break this trend line, if we break this zone right here, there's a possibility that will push down to my next trend line. If I zoom in, you can see that the trend line is coming from right here, that we might push here before we now continue to be upside, because I still see more of like an uptrend rather than a downtrend. So, and we can see around that level right there was rejecting off of my negative 61.8% fib level. So that is why I knew we are going to push up to at least this target right here. There was a break of structure here and it hasn't retested that zone right at that level, so I said we might retest that level and also retest the zone, and that also touches the trend line as well, so I said that's what we are saying before we announce it. But we can see that it went up to my next target around this next trend line right here. So now that we've done that, I'll delete the mark that I made and let's see what next. So my fib, I'll delete that other fib as well, and let's see what next I'm saying that might happen. So if I go to a bigger time frame, which is the daily time frame, I just want to show you the overall picture of what I am currently saying. I know I'm still hoping that we might, because as of now I'm seeing like the bullish move. I'm seeing an impulse, a correction, an impulse, a correction, and a possible continuation to the upside to around my negative 27% fib level. I'm still expecting it to get to XRP to get to that level, but overall we know we are still on a downtrend. I still see it on a downtrend right here to my negative. This is my negative 27% for my bearish move. But as of right now, I still see it pushing up a little bit. So let me just, I'm analyzing based on the current price action. So based on the current price action, I see it's pushing to the upside. But these are my scenarios that might happen before we see. Remember I said that before I deleted I said there's a possibility that we might push to the downside right here, right? When we were here, we said if we break this zone right here, we might push to the downside to give us like a touch of a trend line right at that level. But as you can see, it just pushed up to my next trend line, right? So what am I expecting right now? I see a different possible move, to be honest, and my reason is because we can see if I extend my trend line right here, I see that there was a break of structure around this area and it hasn't retested it yet. So I see a possible move, and we can see rejection of my trend line right at that level. So I have different scenarios that might happen, and I'm going to say my scenarios. My first scenario is we can see we are rejecting of this trend line right here, my first touch, second touch, and a possible third touch. So there's a possibility that we might come down a little bit to my zone right here before we now continue to push up. That's a possibility. Another possibility I also see is that we might come down here. If we break this trend, if we break this zone right here, I might see a touch to my trend line, which will give us like the third touch also before we now continue to the push to the upside. So those are my scenarios that I'm saying, but I'll take you one step at a time. And the first step is that we can see there was a break of structure at this level right here. This was a break of structure, so which established more of a bullish move, and we haven't retested that level right here, right? There are break of structures right here that we haven't retested yet. So I'm seeing a possible move from this trend line right here to come down to retest it before we now continue to push to the upside. So as long as we are still above this zone right here, above the zone right here, we can continue to push to the upside. But if you see a candle momentum that breaks that zone and encloses below that zone, I will look for a little bit of retest. Then we can now see indicates that we might be pushing down to our trend line. But as long as we are above the zone that I said, we are on an uptrend. So that's what I will be expecting. So I will analyze my chart based on the current price action that I'm seeing, and if any other thing happen, then that will be fine. Let me change my okay. So based on my current price action, this is what I am saying on XRP until otherwise is done. So I'm predicting it to at least come down to my level right here, to my around my 88.6% fib level, to retest around that level, and 78.6% fib level. I'm predicting it to at least retest and come back there to retest. And if you see a lot of weak rejections around that area, there's a higher chances that we might continue to push to the upside. And these are my targets right at this level. So now that I'm seeing more of a buy, I'm going to put a price tag. So this will be my first target right at this level right here, and my second target to be around this level as well. So that is what I'm seeing. And we can see my first target, which is always my negative 27%, and my second target, which is my negative 61.8%, and that align perfectly well with this around this level. And that level is because if I zoom in a little bit, we can see around that level, this was a structure right here, and there was a breakout structure around that area, and we haven't retested that area yet. So I see a possible move to come to this area for it to retest that area, because there's a gap here that needs to be filled. There is an imbalance around this level right here. So we have an imbalance around this level right here that haven't been filled yet. So I'm there's a possibility that we might push up to that level to fill it up. So as those are just my scenario that I'm saying. So I can just do like a sketch, maybe something like this and like this. So this is my first scenario right here, and that is my second scenario. So this is just my overall analysis on XRP until otherwise is shown. And like I used to say, no one can predict the market. We just follow the market, what the market does. So if anything changes, I will just have to reanalyze based on the current price action. So hope this is insightful, guys. Please don't forget to share, comment and like, and I'll see you in my next analysis. Thank you.